it's me, Renee. I'm back. So today I'm here for a tag. Surprise! Well, haven't done one in a week, so I have to do one. But yeah. So this tag is the Library 411 tag. It was created 2 years ago actually now by Jashana C. See? I really like her channel. She did the Get Shit Readathon earlier this year. And yeah, I suppose I haven't been watching tons of booktube channels. Well, I have been watching, but like I've been subscribing to so many lately these last few months that I've kind of haven't really watched that much of anyone really, or just watched lots of some. But still, Jashana C, what I've seen of her channel is very nice and very good. And yeah, sorry. And yeah, this is the library 411 tag, so it's all about libraries. I appreciate that so much. I love libraries. I'm a librarian. I'm a book reader. So yeah, it just appeals to me in all the different ways, really. It's just a great tag. And yeah, this week is the National Library Week in the US. It's in the US, so, and it's national. So why would I care? Non-American. I care because libraries are always fun. So an excuse to talk about libraries, I'm here for. I'm here for. So yeah, I decided to do this tag this week because of that. And yeah, let's just get on with it, shall we? Shall we? It's kind of long-ish tag. Well, I was about to say like, so it will be a long video, which of my videos aren't. But yeah, it's a real fun tag. As I said, also why I'm saying that. Why would I do a tag if it's not fun? Yeah, I don't know what I'm thinking really. Let's just get on with it, shall we? Yeah, for reals. So, first book, information desk. So every first book, every prompt is like, it's like in connection to something in the library. So that's really cool. It's not just like library books. Are they fun? Are they bad? But it's like more elaborate, really. So I really like that. Yeah, sorry. Let's get to it. Digressing, it is my name. Prompt 1. Information desk. A book that was helpful to you for any reason. So this could be a book that taught you something new you didn't know about. It could be a book that you used for school. It could be a book that you just used as like uh, as a doorknob. It could be anything really. Just it's very vague. So just do it as you want really. And yeah, since it's so vague, I was like, how am I gonna choose? Yeah, I'll say this up front because yeah, I'm not systematic. I love to babble. I love these prompts are fun, but they're also like, how do I choose? It's so impossible to choose what book to talk about. So yeah, first I had another book, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to finish up for Born a Crime by Trevor Noah. So I read this, I think actually 2 years ago now. Yeah, 2 years ago. And yeah, of course, let's say, of course, I suppose not of course, but I already knew about the thing in South Africa, apartheid. That it was a thing that happened for many decades. It was segregation. It happened in Jim Crow after the Jim Crow era, and it was just atrocious. But knowing it and reading about it was something different, really. And Trevor Noah, like, he was literally a crime. He was born a crime because his existence wasn't legal. So that's quite some dramatic aspects to it, really. So yeah, I really like him giving an insight into South African life and living under segregation. Though I suppose, in a way, I would say it's more about him personally than segregation life, like, because I feel like a lot of it is like after the segregation stops, because I might be wrong here, but I'm imagining he was born like around 89, 88, like the late 80s. I don't really think he ever says how old he is, but imagine it's something around there. Because it's not like all the book takes place during segregation time, and the apartheid stopped at like 91, 92, 1990. So a lot of this book happens after that, but you still have like you still see like the differences with the class systems and stuff. So it's still interesting, really, a read. And yeah, it's a really interesting read to see how it is to be poor in South Africa, but to still have to still don't feel poor. And yeah, I really recommend this book. It's a really good memoir if you want to check it out. If you want to start reading memoirs, if you like travel novel, and yeah, it's both very interesting and eye-opening, but also very funny, very funny at points. And yeah, let's move on. Me babbling forever? No, not at all. Sorry. Next prompt number 2 is the return bin. 2 books you read, or more actually. You can choose more if you want. And immediately wanted to return, or at least DNF'd. So yeah, this is just like a prompt to say like these books were not for me. So I read both these recently. I read a DNF both of these recently. This is actually kind of sad because I actually have it on my radar. I've had it on my radar for like years and years. I saw it on some list on Gunner or something years ago. And I thought like, a genie book. It sounds so cool. And I read it like 2 weeks ago, last week. Well, I read like half of it, and I just felt like I wasn't that interested. It was just meh. I feel like I might have liked it more if I was younger reading it, but reading it now, I wasn't that interested. It wasn't all that appealing. It was just meh. Was actually kind of the same for this one. You know, it's kind of weird to say I would like it more if I was younger because it's about a girl in her first college year. Well, it's been years since I've been in college. Well, not years. Well, yeah, some years. But I'm not that far away from this than I am away from this. But still, so, and yeah, this is a book about fandom, as you might think, like based on the book. All the fields, obviously. I love fandoms. I love lots of things. I get very passionate. So you'd think I really enjoy this one. Honestly, though, it wasn't that good. I was just I didn't feel connected to any of any of the series, any of the characters, and I just really felt like it wasn't done that well. I like the idea behind it, but the execution was just I didn't really care. So I just didn't after it because I don't have time for bad books or uninteresting books. And I'm going to do nothing and use my time on better books. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. So that's those two. Prompt number 3, hold section. Hold section. Most anticipated book. Um, it's not really specified. Checked out because usually, at least lately, when I do a tag, I first look at the original tag to see like if there's anything like specified and stuff. Because it's not all the time that I discover tag from the original creator. And if you see a tag that's been done 1,000 times, and if you see a tag uh, by the 50th person who's done it, that person might have misunderstood lots of stuff and different stuff. So if you see original tag, it's much easier to understand where the tag is, what a tag is wanting to do and stuff. And yeah, so yeah, often some stuff gets lost in translation and etc. etc. So yeah, but yeah, with this number 3, it doesn't say like if it's supposed to be a soon coming out book or just any book really that's coming out. So I'm just gonna say, I'm just gonna go with my basic bitch choice, which is My Calamity Jane by Cynthia. A moment. Give me a moment. Oh yeah. It's by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jodie Meadows. So it's the last book in this My Lady Jane series. So this is the second book, and I actually the first book I just had from the library actually. So I don't own it. I own this one, obviously. And yeah, I really like this series. I think it's so fun, and I love the idea of bringing known or unknown or like different, bringing these like historical or literary figures and twisting them. I think it's so fun and so cool. I love what the authors are doing with them. So yeah, I really can't wait for the third one. It comes out in June. So yay! That's fun. It's actually kind of also in a way a bit fun really because Jashana C, Jashana, sorry, she did a video a few weeks ago, months ago. She did a video on books she didn't want to read, and that series, My Lady Jane, was one of them. And I'm doing her tag saying I want the next book in that series. But hey, I mean, it's bound to happen really. If you do a tag and it's very popular or very fun, lots of people do the tag. It's bound to happen that some people will do the tag and will talk about something that you, the creator, don't like. That's just how it is, really. I'm just gonna assume that's what's gonna happen. You just have to expect it, really. So yeah, let's move on. Yep. Um, Prompt number 4: community classes, study rooms. A book you read for school that you end up reading. Uh, yeah, actually, this is kind of fun. It's story time. And I really like also another reason really like this tag is it's a way of like telling you about libraries because I mean you can easily talk about your library or your library you use a lot, with this tag. And actually, yeah, or like you can just talk about like because if you're doing something or something. I suppose you do it a lot with tags, but you don't have to do that a lot. With this prompt, a book you read for school. This is actually kind of interesting because I'm just gonna say it again. People in the back. I'm not American. I'm not English. I'm Norwegian. And actually, like often in movies and TV series and books, when like the Americans or the English people talk about, oh, I have to read this and this book for school. Like you do? Because actually here in Norway, we don't really have to read that many books for school. Like we, like in, give me a moment, something like that better light? Yeah, it's slightly better. Yeah, anyway. Um, yeah, we don't really have to read that many books for school. We don't have that many books that we have to read. In primary school, like the first 7 years of school, we have, at least I suppose depends like when you go. It's probably different now. But when I went to primary school, we had like this competitions that is about reading as many pages as possible. So like you got like a note paper where you said like in the month of May, uh, Sarah read 200 pages. In the month of July, in the month of April, David read 300 pages. So it's like telling like how many pages they read. So it's not about books, but it's more like it's not about specific books. It's more about reading in general. And then we did have like some books that the reader that the teacher read to us in the in fifth or I think maybe fourth grade. We did like in the era where we did a lot of Roald Dahl books. We read Matilda in school. We saw the movie. We read Charlie and Chocolate Factory. Yeah, I think maybe that was just no. We read The Witches. So yeah, we read different Roald Dahl books. And then actually in seventh grade, we kind of had like this thing that we had this thing where the teacher read out loud to us actually in during lunch break. So and he asked us which book do you want to listen to? Do you want it to be? And one of the people in class actually said like, and then there were none. I really like that. And then we read and then there were none in seventh grade. And I really think that would have gone down in the US because, oh my god, crime, it's so Gary, you can't do that for 12-year-olds. But like, in a way, no biggie. But like, another one, none, it's not really that bloody. I mean, most Agatha Christie books aren't bloody, so most, in a way, it works really good. It's more mystery than bloody and furry. I suppose I don't really think we got all the stuff anyway, so yeah. But yeah, yeah, as I said, we didn't really have to read that and that book, specific books, except in yeah, except before high school actually. Then we have to read specific books. Before that, we didn't really have to read that many specific books. We had to read some books for English or Norwegian, but we could read like whatever we wanted to, just as long as it was uh, in a specific, like it was so and so long. It was new. It had to follow some prompts or rules in a way, specifications. But yeah, so but I actually did in middle school. Oh, yeah, in middle school, I actually read Boy by Roald Dahl, which is his autobiography of his childhood, from when he's like born till he's like 12. No, actually from when he's born to like 18. Yeah, it's his whole childhood more or less. So it's his early years really. Well, early years obviously. And yeah, I did like a project on Roald Dahl, so I read that book, Boy, and I think maybe I also read Charlie and Chocolate Factory. I think I read something else at least with him, but like you were supposed to read like a biography and then some book by author and then talk about that author, like doing an author spotlight for school. So yeah, and I loved Boy. It's just so fun. Still really love yeah. I still really love Joy Boy. I don't own it. I suppose because I borrowed it from library, which is good for this tag. So I can't show it here, but I'm gonna link it in the doobly. And yeah, and that's was a long answer to one question, but hey, that's what you're gonna get sometimes. And then the next question is computers. So modern classic or YA sci-fi? It says here or modern or YA sci-fi, though in the original tag it just said modern classic. So I think that kind of was added along the way. Though, yeah. And I'm actually gonna go with modern classic because I don't read them in sci-fis. So yeah, and I'm gonna go with actually a completely new book. So you might think, if it's so new, how can it be classic? Yeah, red, white, and royal blue. How can it not be classic? I mean, it's epic and so amazing in so many ways. The representation, the love story, the the cuteness, but also the rawness and emotionalness. And it's just so good. I mean, yeah, it's kind of like a daydream just in a book, but it's also kind of it's not completely unrealistic. And I just adore this book. I mean, it's a modern classic. It's not. I don't think you can argue with this one being a modern classic. How can you argue? Can you argue? Don't think so. Fight me on it. And yeah, let's move on. Me aggressive? No. Next question is DVD rental. I love movies. I love libraries do that. They've stopped having DVD rentals kiosks and stores, but now they do it in libraries, which I really enjoy myself. Actually, a lot of libraries actually have like the more obscure movies, at least in here in Norway. Some libraries have a big section of documentaries, or they might have a big section of uh, artsy movies, or they might have a big section of foreign movies, which is not that easy to find other places. That's really nice. It's a good way to like scratch that itch of like finding the obscure movies. So that's really cool. And yeah. So yeah, DVD rental. Most anticipated or favorite favorite recently released DVD or TV adaptation. Yeah, this can be a lot. First, I read it just as like most anticipated, and I thought like, oh yeah, there's always also favorite recently, so I could have picked something that's already been released. So yeah, the possibilities for this one, question answers for this one is just endless. There's so many really, so many I love, so many I liked, so many I can't wait for. I ended up going with Unpregnant Gentleman's Guide, Moxie. No, yeah, I ended up going with three instead of one because I can't help myself. All stuff that's coming out soon, or supposed to come out soon. Unpregnant, actually, might actually have it here. Well, it's Norwegian edition, but yeah, it's so good. And actually, if you're Norwegian looking at this video, hey hey, then yeah, this translation is just very good. Some translations to Norwegian books like, yeah, what did you do with the language? But this is just very well done. I really enjoy it. And yeah, so yeah, this is it's already cast and it's already. I'm pretty sure it's already filmed, though I'm not sure. I do know it's already cast. I know it's supposed to come. Oh yeah, I know it's supposed to come to HBO Max, HBO, one of those. It's helmed by Greg Berlanti, and I'm thinking. Sorry, I don't know what's happening with me today or yesterday really. I'm thinking that uh, I think I heard thinking I think that I heard that it's supposed to come out late this year or maybe next year. But I'm thinking it's supposed to come out like soonish, not far in the future, but like it's been casted and it's not waiting for a long time in a vault. It's supposed to it's coming soon. So yeah, so that's really cool. And then you have the Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, also by Greg Berlanti, by also being helmed by him. We don't really know. I don't think we know if that's a movie or TV series. I think maybe it's a movie. I'm not sure. That has not been cast or anything sadly yet. I want news so much! Come me some news, Greg! Give me some news! No, I think no. Yeah, I think actually now Greg Berlanti could actually do like the whole Comic Con with just him because he does so much. He adapts so much and does so many TV series. Like you can just do a whole Q&A and panel with you for a whole weekend and just so entertained and just give us more of the news from this stuff. Buy, please buy, and then make stuff. Yeah. And then lastly, Moxie. I don't own that actually either. I read it from the library. Um, from library book. I kind of want to reread that before it comes out. But yeah, it's coming out next week. I'm pretty sure it's coming this fall, at least in this year. I'm not quite sure. It's a feminist YA book. It's being helmed or I think it's produced. It's produced by Amy Poehler, so that's really cool. Poehler, yay! And yep, let's move on, shall we? 23 minutes in. Hey, you expected it, didn't you? You kind of had to expect it. It's me. It's me. I don't do things quick and easy. I do it drawn out and elaborate and detailed and rambling. That's what you get by watching me, really. Because that's maybe why people don't watch me, because I just talk too much stuff and rambling. But it seems like lots of people ramble on BookTube, so yeah. I'm just gonna move on. Prompt number 7, a library bookstore. A random book you picked up and really enjoyed. So yeah, just as it says, like a random book you didn't really know much about. This is actually Rubinröd or Ruby Red by Kirsten Gier. I saw it in the bookstore when it came out. Well, obviously, but like, my God, it has been months ago, years ago now. I think like maybe 2010, 11. Think around that. Maybe it was 7. No, pretty sure it was 11. Let me check when it came out. It came out 2011. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it was 2011 because well, this edition came out in 2011. That was like the one I bought, like I found in a bookstore. I remember buying this. I'm thinking it was like one summer I was just walking around in the bookstores, and then it was just sorry, not to fold my chair. I can't fold my chair. That's fine. But yeah, first I was just like walking around bookstore and just not buying much, just doing window shopping and just looking. But then I saw this in all the bookstores, and I really liked the cover, like the emerald in the middle and the raven, the towers and stuff. And I just it looks so interesting. And I read behind like it's time travel, huh? So it's like time travel is my shit. So then I thought like, you know what? I'm gonna buy it. So yeah, I bought it, read it, loved it. And then I bought the second book that was already out, and like enjoyed it, loved it, so good. So yeah, actually for a time like this was my whole world. I remember also like seeing that this movie coming up, like oh my god, movie, and then like oh my god, the movie's in German. I'm gonna see it because I don't think it's yeah, I think it's out on YouTube, but it's bad quality, so I actually never seen the movie, so it's I don't want to see it. Some people say the movie is not so good based on it, so maybe that's fortunate for me. But yeah, and yeah. So for some time, this was like my whole life. So yeah, this and actually for most parts, when I buy books or get books from the library, I often well actually no, mostly when I buy books, I often like buy books that I know are good or like I heard stuff about. So I don't really buy books that randomly that often, except maybe in flea markets, but that's not really that often more anymore, really. So yeah, and finding a book that I had heard nothing about that I loved was such a blessing in disguise, and I really enjoyed it. And yeah, let's move on, shall we? Sorry. Question prompt 8. Youth room. Favorite YA or book you read as a kid? Uh, so here's what's yeah. Let me just go on rambling because I'm not gonna stop. I'm not. Um. So I love. You know what? I don't know. I'm just gonna go on with the question. Answer it. Yes, I know. What is she gonna do? She's a mystery. Yeah. Uh, question here is yeah, favorite YA or book you read as a kid? So yeah, it could be a YA book or book you read as a kid, like YA. I mean, YA is a teen, so that's kid technically, but I wouldn't say like YA really are kids. It's teens. I wouldn't really call them kids. But with this one, actually, I'm gonna go with a book I loved as a kid. So yeah, Tzatziki books by Moni Nilsson Brännström. It's a Swedish series, but I read it in Norwegian, obviously. Well, not obviously, but yeah, this is Norwegian. For those of you that don't know. Actually, let's say I actually heard of this before, or talked with this before on a bookshop channel. I don't think I have. No, I don't think I have actually. No. But yeah, I was obsessed with this series from I was like thinking maybe 5, like very young, like so young. So I think maybe like 5 to like 10, 9. So there's 5 books in the series, and they start with him going to first grade. This first book, he goes to first grade, and then from each book he goes to a new grade. So like one book is 1 year, and yeah, this book series is just so fun. Yeah, so it's about Sasiki and his friend Hamar, and they just go into all these shenanigans. I would say maybe think of Pippi, which is more modern because he has one. Well, actually, he has parents, so it's not like completely Pippi, but like he's just full of imagination, and he always misunderstands stuff, but it just turns so funny, and it's just so good. But it's also also gets bullied. So like, oh my god, no, you're bullied. And like, oh, I'm bullied as well. So you will relate to that. But it's also so fun with like his family relationship and his friend relationship, and like there's trouble stuff going on, but it's mostly like him just misunderstanding stuff and shenanigans happen. And it's just so funny. Actually reread one or two of the books when I was like 17, 18, and I still highly enjoyed it. It was just so fun to just go back to that series, but also like I still highly enjoyed not just nostalgia, but like also like, oh my god, so holds up. It's just so good. I'm thinking I first thought maybe it wasn't in English, but I think now I realized I saw someplace that it is actually translated to English, so that's cool. So you can try to look it up. And yeah, it's a really good series. Very good series. My absolute favorite. And it's also kind of weird because I got this one actually from a used bookstore. Because actually, it turns out they're not really in bookstores like normal bookstores anymore. They're out of print. Like, what? So, like, bookstores I loved as a kid is out of print now. It's just so weird. But I suppose they kind of like they're very popular, but like they're not popular anymore because like they go to used bookstores, so people don't want them themselves anymore. I don't know. Yeah, I've been collecting them again. I had them when I was a kid, and I don't know where it went. So like, I'm buying them again, and yeah, it's just a very fun. Maybe I'll see if there's any. We also like we used to. I used to both read the books, but also listen to audiobooks, and the audiobooks were also so good. And I was about to like read something to like share how good it is. But, like I know how to translate in my head just like while I do it, so it's a bit of a bother. But yeah, just trust me. So good, so good. Right. Next question: museum tickets. So Jashana from the Jashana C, the creator, said that like in her libraries, in her experience, lots of libraries give like tickets to museums like for cheap. That doesn't really happen here in Norway, so that's kind of interesting. Though some places you have like a library that's in the same building as a museum, and then I suppose that might happen then. But like for most part, that doesn't really happen. It's not really that connected. Though more and more nowadays you have like different lectures happening in libraries. So libraries used to like be a place for books, and then maybe you'd go and get some newspapers, read newspapers. But now libraries are also a place to come to have debates. You often have debates there before elections. You might have, uh, or uh, you might have words. You might have uh, words. You might have like an author interview, like an author comes and then uh, comes is interviewed for like a whole hour, or you might have like a language cafe. So there's like different stuff happening in a library now that wasn't before. But yeah, so that's kind of cool. But museum tickets, like directly that's not really happening in Norway. So that's cool that it happens in the States. Good for you. But yeah, actually, I think most of the museums I know about are actually free or very cheap, at least. Sorry, correction. I think most of them are free on certain times, certain days in a week. Like, I think lots of them are free on Tuesdays and Wednesdays or something like that. So that's cool. And I think the other days they're not that expensive. But yeah, let's move on to a question. A book that made you feel a bit more cultured is the question here. So I'm going with the improbability of love by Hannah Rothschild. So it came out actually a few years ago. Actually, oh yeah, it actually got a prize. I could use this one. Yeah. Anyway, um, so it's a book. So it's actually kind of interesting because it's based around this words again. It's based around this this painting that's suddenly found again, because for a long time it's been hidden and forgotten, and not hidden, forgotten. It's been missing. It's been missing. It's been missing. Remember words. Yes, so good. Yeah, it's been missing for a long time. So, and then an art dealer, not really remember. Someone finds it, and then there's all this stuff happening. Like, okay, we need to buy it from the people, and the museum needs to get it, and all these different players. And you have POV for more or less all of them. So that's really fun. So there's lots of POVs. I suppose could be annoying if you don't like many POVs. I really enjoy POVs, so it's nice for me. Though, sorry, one of the POVs is actually the painting itself, and that POV is kind of a bit like, what? What? A painting has feelings and thoughts and stuff? That's kind of weird, as it will be, but it's still good. And yeah, since it's set around the art world, you get like you get all this information on art and class and art history and stuff like that. So that's really cool. The painting that it's based around is made up, but it's a made up by. But it's made up. The painter of it's real. Painting is art. So that's yeah. And yeah, you get like lots of art history in it, and it's just really cool. And yeah, it's a really good book. It's an adult contemporary book. Uh, it's one of the few I've read, as you probably know. But yeah, I really enjoy it. Really enjoy it. It's very good. And yeah, let's move on. Next question. Overdrive, an audiobook you love? Also gotten with a lot of books because I really like audiobooks. I enjoy a lot of them. Actually, my moments. Up there, there you see it. Yeah, there you see my audiobook shelf. So I have audiobooks of the Clockwork Prince and Clockwork Princess, not Clockwork Angel. Angel of Clockwork Princess. I have Agatha Christie. Yeah, I have different audiobooks. So I kind of want to expand that one. Well, I have a lot of audiobooks on my cell phone now, so I suppose I don't need to have physical small that many, but yeah. I do. Sorry, I don't know what's happening with me. Yeah. I did end up going with Zombies versus Unicorns, which is which is which is an anthology by like it's mainly by Holly Black, and then you have Justine Labalestier. So and then you have like lots of they like the two editors. So like all the different stories are narrated by different people. So that's very cool. And they're also very different. Like some of them are like very traditional and nice, and some of them are like very modern and very like not that traditional. And and yeah, you also have like these places like in between and different stories, like where there's well, that says like unicorns are best, and then Disney like no, zombies are best, and there's all this arguing and method talking. It's just so fun, so good. And yeah, I used to actually have this audiobook on my iPod. Yeah, I used to have an iPod. My iPod doesn't work anymore, so yeah, can't really listen to any of that anymore. But I bought this because I still want to enjoy this audiobook. Actually, I've listened to it for years now, so I actually should re-listen to it. But yeah, it's just so good, so good. Definitely recommend it. So good. The audiobook narrators in this one is just so good, but also the stories are so good, and it's just so good, so good, so good, so good. How many times can Renee say it's so good? Take your bets. Yeah. Request a purchase. A lesser known book you want more people to read. and see my whole channel because all the books like I read aren't that well known. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them. But you kind of have to go with one answer or have time to choose an answer. So I'm going with Spirits in the Park or The Gods of Manhattan series by Scott Mewes. It's a middle grade series. I chose this one because it's awesome, and actually because I hadn't really talked much about it. So like, I should talk about this one. Completely forgot about this one. But yeah, it's think Percy Jackson, but with history. Because instead of it being gods being real, it's more like people from history that are so like there's so much known about and myths around them that they become gods. So Alexander Hamilton is a god in here, and you have Hamilton, you have give me a moment. Doesn't okay, it doesn't say here, but like there's all these different like famous politicians and famous people from history that are like become immortal in gods because of people believing in them and thinking of them so much. It's just such cool concepts, but you also have you also have Fae in here, so that's really cool. And yeah, actually, just this is the second book. Actually, just read the first two, but I really enjoyed them. And yeah, if you really like Percy Jackson, check this series out. Highly recommend it. So good. It's just actually three books, so it's not like a huge series. But if you want a fun little trilogy that's not that well known, check it out. Sorry. Uh, Question number 12. Librarians. A character that loves to help others. And then I'm going with Hazel from the Wells and Wong series, or you can call it both really. A murder most a murder most unladylike mystery. The series is called both Wells and Wong and A Murder Most Unladylike, so you can say what you want really. It's a historical. I was about to say middle grade. I suppose it's both middle grade and YA. Like you grow up with the characters, but it's not like a lot of romance, and it's like it's very young read in a way, but it's also older read. But yeah, anyway, it's not for adults anyway. It's historical crime. Think Agatha Christie for younger people. And it's just so good, but it's also diverse, both with sexuality and with race. And actually, one of them is actually also dyslexic, so that's cool. And yeah, Hazel in the series wants to help people all the time. She's just very about helping people all the time. She wants to be liked, she wants to be helpful, and that's like a very specific character trait of hers. And yeah, it's very nice of it. Very nice character traits. And yeah, so yeah, check this series out. It's just so good. It's actually ending this year. The last book. I shouldn't really complain because the last book is the ninth book. But we had a long series. It was like, that's so good! I so wanted to end. But yeah. And then actually, the last question. The end. Whoops, my friend. Now my books just fell off because yeah, there's so many books to talk about. But what we do? Last question. I was about to show you it. I could have done it, but yeah. Shank, yeah, Sanctuary, a book that is your safety net, or a book that got you through a tough time. So this book, well, okay, first, so the prompt is not like specific to any library stuff. It's more like the library in general. In general, is often a place people go if they need some space, if they need a place to be. Maybe their home life is bad, or maybe you just feel like very comfortable and very peaceful in the library. Like me, my home life has always been good, but the library has always given me a sense of peace and joy. So I always loved going to the library. always. And yeah, so yeah, with this book, with this prompt, I end up going with the blah, Stephanie Plum series by Janet Evanovich. So I found this series when I was in middle grade, middle school. That's kind of the same school grade. Anyway, I was 12, 13, 13, 14. I was kind of in a reading slump, and I was in those ages where you got bullied all the time. I was bullied to a high degree. It was just crying in the bathroom. It was just awful, awful. It was no fun. Uh, but I don't really remember how. But anyway, somehow I discovered this series, and it's just yeah, it's not revolutionary. It's not completely different for everything in the world, but it's still like it's very highly entertaining. Sorry. It's it's an adult series, so it's kind of fun that me as a teen found it. But it's not like it doesn't have any graphic scenes in it. Like sometimes there's violence, but it's not like graphic violence, or it's not graphic sex scenes either. So it's still fine, really, and it's not really swearing in any way. So it works for teen. Well, if you're like scared teen, it works. But yeah, so it's a mystery series, but it's also very funny series, and there's also some romance in it, and it's just. But also, when I think of this, I think mainly funny because it's just so funny. The characters in this are just they have the great one-liners, but I think often there's just the scenes that they end up in, like there's often nakedness, but like in a fun way, like people who are running around for law, but they're naked, and like, oh my god, we have to chase this naked guy, and it's just so absurd, but so fun, and just so fun. And yeah, Stephanie Plum series. If you need a good laugh, check this one out. It's just so good. It's starting actually to be a long series. I think the series is up to now like book 28, 27. So now I'm kind of thinking like, it's fine. Do you need to write more books? But they're still good. So like if you want, you have lots of books to read in the series. It's ongoing. I actually haven't read the last two or three, but I kind of want to read them. But like now I'm kind of like the other books in the world. But they're still good, enjoyable books. But yeah, in a time in my life, this were like my sanctuary. I sort of swallowed them whole. I need it, I need it, I need it. And luckily, when I found the series, there were already like 10, no, already like 9 books out. So I could just read them, didn't have to wait. And yeah, so yeah, and that's that really. I'm just throwing it on the floor now. No rules. And yeah, and that's the library 411 tag. I hope you enjoyed it. I was about to say I'll tag someone. You know what? I'm just gonna do this on normal. I'm just gonna tag you, whoever wants to do it, because the tag is now 2 years old. So a lot of people have probably done it, and if you haven't done it, just be inspired by this video and do it if you feel like it. And yeah, feeling talking for so long now. This is me saying Renee out.